Almost 4 years ago, on November 1st, 2003, I announced that Saddleback would begin testing a new revolution and a new reformation in missions. The plan would actually be a return to the old way of missions, the way Jesus did missions 2,000 years ago. We would follow His plan and we would do it His way. You see, what Jesus told and showed His disciples to do is the solution to the 5 biggest problems on our planet. I call them the global Goliaths, the giants that are so big they affect billions of people, not just millions. And what are those global giants? Number 1 is spiritual emptiness. Billions of people do not have Christ in their lives. They don't realize there's a purpose for their life, that they're made to last forever, that their life is not an accident. The second biggest problem on the planet is self-serving leadership. And because we don't have leaders who are unselfishly serving, we have a lot of other problems, namely 3 more. The third giant is poverty. Half of the world lives on less than $2 a day, and over 1 billion people live on less than $1 a day. We have to do something about this. Jesus cared about the poor. The fourth giant problem are pandemic diseases. Yellow fever, typhus, malaria, AIDS, waterborne eye diseases. The number 1 killer of children is diarrhea. 30,000 children die every single day from preventable diseases. And the 5th global giant is a lack of education and illiteracy. Half of the world cannot read or write. How do we help people like that? Well, we do it the way Jesus did. When you study the ministry of Jesus in the New Testament, Jesus did 5 things. He promoted reconciliation, He equipped leaders, He assisted the poor, He cared for the sick, He educated the next generation. And so we began to go out and began to plan how to do it the way Jesus did. As I went out and began to speak about peace, everybody else wanted to be involved too. When I went to the Davos World Economic Forum, when I spoke at the United Nations, at Congress, and Cambridge and Oxford, what we learned is that people wanted to be a part. Health partners and business partners and government partners said, can we be a part of peace too? We're beginning a coalition of partners. We came up with the idea of what we call the 3-legged stool illustration. A 1-legged stool will fall over, a 2-legged stool will fall over, but a 3-legged stool will have stability. And so today we're working in partnerships with 3 different legs. There's the government leg, there's the business leg, and there's the church leg. Government has the role of protecting private property, protecting rights, providing opportunity, and giving us safety and security. Business brings to the table expertise, management skills, capital, and investments, things like that. But the church has a number of things that business nor government will never have. First, we have universal distribution. I could take you to 10 million villages around the world. The only thing in it is a church. The church is the most widely spread network on the planet. Nothing comes close. We speak more languages than the United Nations. We're in more countries than the United Nations. The church is truly the only global organization in the world. Not only that, we have the most manpower. There are 2.3 billion people in the world who claim to be followers of Jesus Christ. 2.3, that means 1 out of every 3 people is a member of a church. What if we were to mobilize just 1 billion of those people? You see, the church is the biggest organization on the planet. It's bigger than China, it's bigger than India, it's bigger than China and India put together. Not only do we have the greatest distribution and the most manpower, we have local credibility. Because in those villages around the world, the most trusted individual is that priest, that pastor, that minister. They live the same way the villagers do. So people trust them. If we're going to solve these problems, we must build a peace coalition around the 5 things that Jesus Christ did when He was here on earth. And what did Jesus do? He promoted reconciliation. He equipped servant leaders. He assisted the poor. He cared for the sick. And He educated the next generation. Over the last 4 years at Saddleback Church, we've been testing the prototypes of this plan. We've sent over 7,400 members around the world to 68 countries to test different ways of getting government and business and churches to work together. And we've learned a lot. I hope you'll join us in phase 2 of the Peace Plan as we now build a global coalition of business leaders, government leaders, and church leaders working together to solve the greatest problems on the planet.